Okay, good evening, everyone. My name is Kathleen Prokop, and right now I'm going to um, talk about the financial environment. It is hard. It's just my opinion. It's my class at Grand Canyon University, located in Phoenix, Arizona, where I'm a student online. And the subject is fundamentals of business in finance. That's Finance 350. The Grand Canyon University accept there's classes open every week, every Monday. So if you would like to see whether you would be interested in attending GCU, just go to gcu.edu, that's edu, and just make your inquiries and then you're all set. Okay, the financial environment is exactly that. And we're talking about finance, the three areas of finance, and the six principles of finance. And there are four components of the financial system and describing the roles of the financial system, of its components. And then there's the financial market characteristics and four types of financial markets. And so we can also identify career opportunities in finance. So we're going to start with what is done. Maybe nandito, oh yeah, yung printer impact. Hello, I'm back. So now we're going to be studying, I'm going to be sharing my opinion about what is finance, okay? So actually, we're going to be describing the financial environment under three areas of finance. So what is finance? The finance is study of how individuals such as you and I, the consumer, and the institutions like financial bank, payday loans, like AIG, all those things that you can get money from, and also the Federal Reserve, right? Those are institutions that deals with monies. And then there's the governments, which is actually where our money is coming from, because that's where the government is that prints the money to be used in the United States, and when we do import export as well. So the monies that the government print is both for domestic and import export. Some monies that are financed by the government, what they do is to get the money from the US Treasury, then it goes to financial institution and they charge interest. What they do, I do believe, is if, for example, the US Treasury charges 5%, then when it goes to financial institutions, they might charge, let's just say, 2 or 3.2 interest. And then when it goes to the community, then they might be charged, what would that be? Maybe 1.7 interest. And so then the the majority of the interest, and it adds up to 5%. That's how exactly how interests are designated or it's allocated. So then there's businesses and there are acquisition. How as a consumer and individuals we acquire monies is our finances we work, or we got retirement, or we have unemployment or benefits, or we have 401k interest. And then the institutions, and then there's also the institution that funds SBA, because if you apply for SBA, you go to institutions that offer as the businesses like corporation, LLT, I mean, LL, yeah, limited, yeah, LLCs or LLT. And then they also have the nonprofits. We have the education. We have the Riverside County or the county or the state. Those are businesses. They might deal with state regulatory or federal regulatory, but anything that serve either in service or in inventory that provides revenue to service or inventory, those are all businesses. It could be a home-based business. It could be self-employed, corporation, and anything that deals with business. Okay, and what they do is what finance is. We spend and manage the money and other financial assets. So when you talk about financial assets, is you're acquiring, right? So financial assets could actually be dealing with your revenue or your service revenue. And if you're a home, financial assets are how you get your money. It's not physical asset, where it's a property asset. Financial asset is actually money asset. Okay. And what there is the decision. When we do it finance, we decide how we spend and how we consume. So when we spend, we buy supplies, the things that we need, and how we consume it. Okay. Now, if you're dealing with institution, how you get your money into your bank or into your AIG or things like that, and how you were consuming, how you're gonna distribute it to banks, to insurance companies, to car industries, and so forth. So now, it would be there is implication, financial implication in the decisions that you have about your finances. If you're a corporation, you do it profit or loss. That's how you would make decision on your financial. And it would implicate if you're getting profits, are you going to say, should we increase our capital? We have more capital gain, or should we liquidate our capital gain? Okay. So how would you liquidate your capital gain? When you have a capital gain, you would increase more your inventory, right? So your owner's equity would probably be increased because your worth is more. But as you gain your, if you study your income statement and you or your owner's equity statement or your balance sheet, and you see that you have increased your profit, then you will make decision of your finances that way, right? And so it is spending or consuming. In future too, you have to consider when you're budget planning, you would say, what is our outlook in the future? You could see if you go to cbo.gov or gao.gov, you will see budgets there. The projection, either 100 years projection or 20 years projection. You can see the data there. It tells you the the y axis and the x axis. The x axis usually deals with supplies, periods. With the y axis, you deal with money, technology, and so forth. So now we have now the financial environment, and the financial environment is include financial systems, institution or intermediaries. Okay, and the intermediaries we use those intermediately, even the terms too. The bank use those terms. Um, Terminologies and vocabularies are very important when you are writing your program, when you are doing your report, your when you are doing your executive and your activity journal. It's very important to use those terminologies because it makes your sentence concise and in short. Because so you know you're talking about financial systems. You know the financial systems, right? You know your institutions, right? You don't have to say, oh, the many companies that provides money. No, you could just say financial institutions. So it shortens, so you could write, instead of writing 500 words, you'd be shortened to maybe 300 words on your report. So now, in the financial environment, uh, talks about financial markets as well and business firms, individuals, and global interaction. And they contribute. They contribute. That means they are the financial systems that makes an efficient operating the economy. Okay? So actually financial environment uh, predicts what's the economy it's going to be because it dealing with the consuming and spending. Okay, and it deals with if you are spending properly and you're consuming properly, you either have a profit or a loss. If you have a loss, you need to do analysis more, a secondary analysis, primary analysis. You have a team leader and a team member to do survey or analysis. It's either be experiment or observation, and you would have question of yes, no, or and all those things. So you have like very satisfactory, neutral, uh, uh, not satisfactory, very not satisfactory, and all those things. And all those things are tallied and they are given a analysis by the data analyst person teams. So now we have now um, uh, financial environment shouldn't be isolated. It should be interact or intersect. So it's like a curved wall. It's woven where there would be buyer and seller, right? There will be consumer and there would be businesses and so forth. There interact. It shouldn't be isolation. Okay, like if you're homemade a home, you have a home-based business. You're not gonna stay home all day praying to God that someone gonna bring in, gonna give you a phone call. No, you have to have a marketing strategy, either word of mouth, you would do social media, you would do television, you would do flyers, you would do email, all those stuff. So it needs interaction as well as intersect. Okay, and let me see. Now we have the financial institution. The financial institutions are organizations or intermediaries, and they help the financial system operate efficiently and trust fund funds from savers who are the consumers. The consumers are savers. We need to have discounts offered to us so that we will be able to spend our money. So if you have $1 and you buy candy and the other candy went on sale 50% off, then you can buy two candies, right? So the inventory will go down. So if you go to FIFO and LIFO, you would combine all your LIFO and FIFO, then your inventory will be effectively interacted to the consumer and buyer, and you get savings. And in the meantime, the business will have investors, right? Because buyers are investors, right? And seller is the institution, the government, or the business. And so, and the people, they seek to spend, and the businesses invest the funds in physical assets like inventories, buildings, and equipments. Those are the things that homes, government, institution, and businesses need in their to interact with in their family, in their consumers. Uh, Inventories at a retail store, they have the clothes, they have the pots, they have the gums, bubble gums, they have potatoes. Those are all inventories. That means those things that you sell, that you need to have the people, the consumer, uh, buy and offer them savings, so your inventory will be more dispersed, and you could uh, get more new inventories, and your profit will increase and so forth. Remember, you need to go by the end times of days prices, not like in olden days. Okay, this one about this is still brand new. It was $9. But I don't know. I think we're gonna have another inflation going on, because steaks now cost $13.99. And 5 years ago, there were only that went to 2015. They were only costing $2.99 a pound when they go on sale, from $5 to $4.99. And considering at 2015, the minimum wage was probably $9 or $10 an hour, or even $8 an hour. And now in 2020, the minimum wage is $12.50 an hour. So you think the inflation, even though the sales of stuff will affect people that much? Well, if the government go ahead and plan on different economics level where they need in entertaining, you probably have just chicken or not lobster, because lobster is very expensive, right? So you provide more mass production. Maybe like if you go on a date, maybe eat lobster or giant crab legs or steaks, where you can buy at the store already cooked with dessert. What else is there that you have? Carbohydrates and fruits, and the main menu for in Suboba Casino in their Canyon restaurant. You can get like for $32, $38. But if you go like to noodles, you like noodles, Oriental Asian food, it's cheaper because it's less mass of meat. It's chopped up. So the more chopped up the food is, the cheaper it is. Okay? Because it makes with vegetables, with soup, and all those stuff. But it's about price that's reasonable. The noodle restaurant in Suwaba Casino, if you buy their soup that comes with shrimp, uh, octopus, uh, scallops, squid, and the Oriental meat. I forgot to call that. Yeah, it comes up to I think either $14 and $16. So that's not bad. And it's a big serving bowl. You could feed your family. I don't want to call it family, since you can only be there unless you're 21 years old. But there's a new ecosystem in casinos that God put a stupor, the government, a stupor in our eyes, that That's why when you go to casinos at a particular time, like myself, and then another time, maybe there is a family because the waitress says it's a family price. You bring your family there and eat. And they have casinos for kids that's like a toy, like a toy stuff. And they learn cognitive and they play cognitive in there, like they tell you, please try to get uh, five diamond color green in diagonal, all the stuff. I mean, where the professional gambler or consumer gambler yourself, okay, you're gonna bet 60 cents and you might win 400 pennies, you know? Hmm. Okay, so now we're gonna go with financial market. Financial market, physical locations. So we have the swap meet, we have the retail store, we also have the banks, because they're a financial market. You think that market money by the institution as well. And they have either electronic like debit card or MoneyGram or Zella, all those stuff. And their investors and businesses and government. They facilitate the flow of the funds. Okay. So now then we have the financial management involved financial planning, asset management, and fundraising decision to enhance the value of business. Enhance means making ensure that you're controlled because you have a business, you do your planning, which you set your goals, and then you do your organizing, you put things together, and you would do your leading where you put into promotion, put into steps. I mean, you do the action, then you sit there waiting for the money or customers to get to you. Then there is the controlling where you will uh, the performance of the business. Okay, okay. So that's the financial. That's the market. Then the investment, the sales or marketing securities. Okay, the marketing of securities is ensuring that people in your bank opens checking account and you got their debit card. Let's get away with credit card. Let's promote payday loans, whether long term or short term, and that. But you need to wait to maintain it. You only spend what you have, and you only get what you need. Okay. So then now we have the financial management. You do your financial planning, asset management. It tells you, well, I have $5 and I want to get gas and candy. So you're not going to buy $5 worth of gas. You're probably going to buy 1 gallon, which costs $2.89. And while you're at the gas store, you want to buy $1.25 worth of candy. So that's what? 2.89, a dollar. So that's just past almost $4. So you have a savings. So that's how you manage your asset. You manage your asset by making sure that you have mortgage to pay, or if you're a business, you manage your asset by ensuring that you have salary, you have your expenses, you have your assets, because you're gonna have all assets. If you have no expense, it doesn't show that you're contributing to the success of the economy. You have to have expense. That's because if you have expense, you have third party, and you're promoting networking. And then that's the fundraising decisions. Okay. Let me see. There's the record of the revenue. You record your revenue, your expenses, and profitability of your organization, either individual, government, businesses, nonprofits. And the exchanges of goods and services. Exchanging means you have a buyer and you have a seller. So now we go to okay, we did stocks and bonds. It's investment management. Okay, we're gonna do that later. another chapter. So now two themes: small businesses practice and personal financial planning. Those are the two themes of financial. Okay. There's financial institutions and markets, investment, financial management. Those are the topic areas. Okay. And they have a life cycle stages. The life cycle stages is like the manufacturing, they manufacture, then they distribute. It's like the supply chain. They distribute to either direct to the consumer or to a retailer, and then the consumer eats it. And we have the recycle, like we recycle now bowel movement, PP, garbage, plastic, and even come out with like notice the mass that could become from recycle. It tells you there from a recycle material. Clothes, recycled clothes, and it goes from stage to stage in the existing of the business or the individuals. So, what else do we have in here? Entrepreneurial finance. What's entrepreneurial finance? A study of how growth driven is growth driven. That means it's sustainability. The risk taker is able to grow, because if it doesn't grow, then the business will go bankrupt, right? Then the performance is focused for the growth driven. And the early stage firms from development to the early rapid growth. So those are the early stage of a firm. Okay. You develop it. Now you have your capital. Then you need to have a plan. You have to organize. You have to lead, and you have to control. And you need to have your 7 mix, right? The place, the price, and all those 7 P's. Now, the Eurasian Financial Capital and manage your operations and assets. So your operations are your costs of your company, how the cost of your company, which deals with inventories, labor, salary, all those stuff. And then you have your assets, your building, your equipment, and your see, what was that? Your three physical stuff, equipment, inventories, and buildings. Okay, so small business practice boxes focus on operational and financial issues faced by early stage firms. So every year it's an early stage firms, because you are every 10 years or every 20 years, because you need to analyze your budget, your profit, your loss. So you have to have a growth driven to be sustainability of your company, even a nation. The president is dealing, President Trump is dealing with that. So now the personal finance is a study of how individuals prepare for financial emergencies. So personal finance, individual. A corporation could be individual as well, right? Because when you file for taxes, the corporation file as taxes as an individual corporation, not mingle with the other corporation. Okay? It protects against premature death of a company, that means go bankrupt, of a person not eating properly, then they would die. And the loss of property and accumulate wealth over time. So that's what the operational and financial that face the early stage of a firm. Okay. So our personal financial planning boxes, that means your box, Like number one box, you plan. Number two box, you organize. Number two, three box, you lead. Number four box, you control. And on planning decisions made by individuals regarding savings and investing their financial resources. Okay, we did all the investment, right? In the investment, we are dealing with sales or marketing of securities. Did you read your chapter so you can know where to find it? Now, if you print it right now I'm on page 6. Why study finance? It's like a price bubble. Okay, technology stocks, including the so-called dot-com startups, burst in the United States in 2000. Ooh, that's the millennial. You know how long we waited for the millennial when we were watching a cartoon back in 1972 or 71. We see those glasses like a flute, and we never had those before. Now in 2000 we do. And we fill it with green cocktail drink that we used to see in Star Trek. They drink Star Trek, and they have it pressed like that. Now we have that too. They're secure police officers. They have that. Raise the suspect. Raise the suspect. And they go like, cover me up. More police coming to assist to arrest the suspect. All those stuff. So those are called technology innovation, when a redevelopment of the economy. Okay. Then to make informed economy decision, the operation of the financial system. So the financial systems, right? Now the financial systems, they're institution. They're the financial environment, financial system. They're like the ecosystem. So that's what we study finance, is to make informed economic decision, to make informed personal and business investment decision, to make informed career decisions based on a basic understanding of business finance. Okay? So now, 6 principles of finance. The money has a value. The higher returns are expected for taking on more risk. So the more profitable you are, the more risk you become, risk taker you are. Then there's a diversification of investment can reduce risk. Diversification means instead of only having 100 volume in your portfolio, you're going to have 900,000 volumes. That means you have in there 10,000, I don't know about that, 100 pounds, 100 volume of gold, 1,000 volume of silver, of copper, of materials, of commodities, and other stuff like S&P. Okay, there's a NASDAQ index. Any of your financial markets are efficient in pricing securities. As you make more profits, the more money demand we have, the prices will go up. The more you notice now that our deficit is no longer in billions, it's in trillions, now in billions. That's why things are cheaper, right? But if you have more, your supplies increase, your money decrease. Why? Because things are being purchased, so your money are increased. Oh, if your money increase, your supply increase, your money increase, supply decrease, and so forth. But in demand, law of demand, your money increase, your supply decrease because you're buying things. If your supply increase, your money decrease because nobody's buying. So that means there's less profit. You can just be black. You have to think cognitively. Why is that happening? Why is it that if the money supply, why would the money decrease? The money decrease in the bank because it's being spent, it's being used, right? That's called the law of demand. The opposite. The law of supply, they go the same direction. So then there's the reputation matters. And the manager and stockholder objectives may differ. That means that the manager ideas or opinion may be different from the stockholder. The objective means their goal. A manager objective to ensure that the stocks are the stakeholders are getting what they invested. Because if they do, that means the company is progressing, right? The stockholders' objective may be to get more dividends, so they buy. You go and buy stocks where the most stocks market is supporting, right? Okay, so now we are now on the overview of financial system. Financial system, it has characteristics and requirements. Okay. Now, the financial system is a complex mix of financial intermediaries, markets, instruments, policymakers, and regulations, and they interact to expedite the flow of financial capital, right? From savings into investment. So that's what they do. The group of people, policymakers are president, Congress, your Treasury, Federal Reserve, and bonds. Just read that and you understand. So what are the characteristics? The four major of the major components is the U.S. financial system. Is the financial system effective? Policymakers and so forth. And then the fourth effective is the financial system, the financial market that facilitate the transfer of financial assets. The second effective financial system needs an efficient monetary system that is composed of central bank and banking system. Central bank, I forgot, but there's only, I think, 5. And they go to the bank system, like maybe the bank central bank is like union, federal, commercial, and individual. What's the other one? And they are working, they're in a state headquarters and they have many branches. Okay, that's called the central bank. So if you had your business administration, you would have learned that. So a Federal Reserve is not a central bank, it's a system. Okay? Because they're not the main bank. The Federal Reserve only regulates the securities, interest rates, and so forth. Financial system components of financial function. What are the components of the financial function? They create money, transferring money, that with the monetary system. The financial institutions, they accumulate savings and they're lending, investing savings. The financial market, they market financial assets and they transfer financial assets. In all these things, they need electoral as well as physical. Okay? You need the manpower, physical. Data entry into the electoral, Financial markets, characteristic and types. Money markets. Those are money and capital market. They are debt securities with maturities of 1 year or less. That's the money. That's a CD, money markets. Those are, what are their characteristics? They facilitate the raising of financial capital by government entities, business firms. So they increase the financial capital, right? If you got, uh, if you sell CDs, you get money. So you have a capital. Then you do your payday loans, right? And you collect on, if you loan 200 or 100, you get $17 and they pay by short term. So if you have like 10 people that invested in money city, 1,000, so you got 10,000. And if you invested in payday loan, so with the payday loan, they borrow from the bank and they give it back and so forth. That's how that is. And then what's the other one? We have the capital market. So we have the money market. The capital market are debt instrument or securities with maturities longer than 1 year, and corporate stocks or equity securities are issued and traded. So that's the stocks and bonds you trade. And once you trade, you have equity, which is stocks and bonds. So you can sell your points, yes, your stocks and bonds, and you can trade. Okay, capital market securities are generally issued to finance the purchase of homes by individuals, buildings and equipments by businesses, and for provision of infrastructures, roads, bridges, buildings. How is that? Why is it capital market securities are generally issued to finance the purchase of homes? So securities are like, if it's unsecured, that means you have a checking account, you have a CD market, okay, and they contribute to the capital market because it involves in the business, where the money market could only deal with person. So those are the characteristics, right? Characteristic and types. The characteristic of money market is high liquidity because you can get rid of it just like that. You don't have to wait. The short-lived 1 year or less. So the interest you might get might be less than the long term. Long term, if you have a long term, you pay more interest in it. So the capital market, the characteristic is that is for trading. That's the characteristic of the capital market for trading. The trading of the mortgage is you have the house, and you trade it, you pay. So that's a trade. I give you a entitlement of a house and you pay me money. That's a mortgage trading. Trading. Okay, individual you lease. I give you the lease title and you have the building. Equipment, I give you like the car or equipment. Then you get the equipment. You buy, you give me money, and you get the equipment. So it's called trading, okay? Whereas the money market is more like for saving, okay? It's investment for short term, gearing towards maybe 401k. 401k is long term, but it's still a money market because it deals with individual. And by the time you're age 55, you can withdraw in it a particular amount of money a year, and you don't have to pay penalty. Okay, now once you're 70, you can withdraw on it unlimited, and you don't have to have penalty. But when you withdraw at the age 55, you have to pay taxes on it, and you can consider income. So if you have an income, then you increase your income, and since it wasn't paid tax yet, you have to pay taxes on it, because when you go in your 401k, you deducted in your salary $5, so that lessen your income $5, which increase your 401k to $5, and the company can either match 5% or 100%. 100%, then that's $10. If they match 50%, then that's $750. And by the time the interest rate, if you're less than 55, you might say you have a penalty of 1%. So you would have to pay interest, a tax with it, plus you pay a penalty of 1%. But once you're 55 or older, you don't have to pay penalty, but you just have to pay for taxes. Okay? Primary and oh my gosh, almost an hour. Primary and secondary market. A primary market is the initial offering or origination of debt or equity securities. The secondary market is physical location or electronic forums. Okay, that's the difference. So primary market deals with equities or debt. Okay, initial offering. So when you buy a house, that's your first mortgage loan. You're gonna have a debt. That's your primary market. A secondary market. Mortgage loans provide financing for the purchase of homes and other real estate. Secondary market is typically divided into short-term money and long-term money, capital money categories. So secondary market deals with physical locations like institutions, banks. They go there physically, or electronic forum like debit or MoneyGram. Stocks and bonds as well, they said, where you can have with debt, bonds and mortgages and securities are traded. Oh, so like in your market, you trade the debt, bonds and securities. You trade. The secondary market is like a capital market, and there's trading involved. The primary market is just like uh, the money market. Is it the money market where it deals with mortgage loans? Major types of financial markets: debt securities. You repay your borrowed funds. Your debt securities market where money market securities, bonds, corporate, financial institution, and government. So debt securities are just like secondary market. Debt securities is the obligation to pay borrowed money. Bond markets with debt securities with longer term, whereas the debt securities market deals with originated and traded from the origination. So primary or secondary. Then they have the mortgage market, loans to purchase real estate. So what that is a title company. They give you the title and they have to find a lender, and then the lender loans a title. Within the title, use the bank, and in the bank, the buyer lend it, and they get money to repay their loan. Okay. So now we have the equity security called common stocks. Common stocks are the stocks that's paid to the board of directors, the CEO. Ownership shares in corporation. And then equity security markets where ownership shares in corporation are initially sold and traded. So those are the uh, penny saving or like company or people that are investing, they're buying, they're called equity security markets. So equity, okay? Corporations can raise funds either through a private placement, which involves issuing new common stocks directly to specific investors, or through public offering, which involves selling new common stock to the general public. That's the penny stocks. Uh, Financial institutions, that could also be people are buying. You don't know that, but it's a penny. You buy, you mature, you pay your tax. There you go. Raise equity capital by selling common stocks in the firm's equity security and market are discussed in chapter 11. So derivative security markets, money and capital markets, there are also derivative security markets. So aside from the characteristic of money markets and capital markets, there's a derivative security markets. They are market for financial contracts or instruments that derive their value from underlying debt and equity security. So underlying debt, that could be surplus, okay? And the equity security. Into equity security stocks and bonds. If you have equity, you get money. Okay, that's your dividends. Like you borrow your equity loan, you have a second mortgage of your home, and you have an equity loan. That means you're borrowing your equity. I mean your profit. If your home just in case you sell it, and the value goes up, so you have it appraised and you borrow from that. And you reverse it. Yeah. Okay. What else in there? Then you have your foreign exchange market, like forex markets. They are electronic markets which banks and institutional traders buy and sell various currencies on behalf of businesses and other clients. So when you go to international bank and you got $1 and you want to buy pesos, you get pesos back, right? And you will go to a foreign country and you will spend pesos because you don't have dollar. But now the world will always use dollar, right? But it has pesos. Yes, another word. We need to study that pretty soon. Careers in financing, business financial management. That means cash management analyst, capital expenditure analyst, credit analyst, cost analyst. So they analyze. This position, financial institution, there are loan analysts, bank teller, investment research analysts. Then there's the contractual savings and real property organizations, insurance, agent broker, research analyst, real estate agent broker, mortgage analyst. Those are self-explanatory. Securities, market, and investment. These are the career in finance. There's a stockbroker. There's a security analyst. There's investment banker analyst. There's financial planner. So the payday loan, that's a form of a stockbroker too. Okay. Or investment individual, financial planner assistant, payday loan. Now, overview of financial system, characteristics, and requirement. Oh, we did that already. So now we have the plan, or we're going to have to do the plan of study, right? So that's good. So that's about it. Thank you so much. So what is finance? Finance is the spending, consuming, right? What is meant by term financial environment? That's the financial system. What are the three areas of finance? Okay. Okay. So now You got your exercises. Don't know if you can do that. I didn't see it. I will do that. That's not a homework. Our homework is multiple choice. And you got 15 questions and you have two tries instead of three tries. What a bummer. I got two tries. You guys got two tries? Take up the class, okay? Two tries. Thank you so much. God bless you. God be with you. Study hard, but take time to relax. Now, I think this is more relaxed now. I hope so. Because of the coronavirus, we need to support the economy and so forth. So thank you so much. Please double check, visit gcu.edu and try to talk to a counselor and see if you can enroll this Monday on the 13th of July. It could be or the 20th of July because you need to get your transcript or transfer your transcript, or you need to apply for your FAFSA. If you applied last year, FAFSA in October, that's included this year. So this coming October, you apply for 20, uh, 2021 to 22. So don't forget to apply your FAFSA on October 1. Okay? If you applied for FAFSA last year in October 1, or in January before March 2 of this year, then you can go to school this year. If not, you have to wait, or you want to buy. It's better to wait for FAFSA because it's a guaranteed loan. You don't have to worry about, you have to write the test, and so forth. Okay, thank you so much. Go to work that has a school educational opportunity grant that will help you pay for your student loan. Okay, so maybe you didn't get program. I get both. Okay? Oh, you do? Okay, thank you so much. God bless. Have a good day. My name is Kathleen Prokop. I live in Hemet, California, and I go to GCU, GCU. If you want to talk to a special person GCU, just contact Nicholas Robles. Thank you. Bye.